Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to do it's not a tutorial really, it's just showing how I knit. It's a button-up cardigan I'm doing for a lady asked me to do a button-up cardigan for her with my Rosebud lace pattern. And I'm going to show how much I've done up to now and let you see how I do these cardigans. This is what I've done so far. It's this is the Rosebud lace pattern. You can see what I've done of it. And if anybody wants to do the pattern, if you look in my playlists under Sheila's knitting stitches, there's stitches there amongst those for anybody that wants to do it. It's quite an easy pattern, but this is the back of the cardigan, and I've cast on, it's a cable cast on, and I've cast on 97 stitches, and I've done 2 inches in knit 1, purl 1, twisted rib. For anyone that doesn't know how to do a twisted rib, you just knit into the back of every knit stitch on every row. So I did that on 3 1/4 millimeter needles. I did a swatch to start with at first, because this is I haven't knit any large things, and this is Peyton's Fab double knit, and they recommend 4 millimeter needles. And the swatch I did came out, what do you see on here, and a 4-inch swatch is 22 stitches and 30 rows, which works out at 5.5 stitches to the inch and 7.5 rows to the inch. And that was how my swatch came out when I did that on 4 millimeter needles. And like I said, this is Peyton's Fab, and I haven't done any large things with this. I've only done a bit of crochet and a hat and things like that on it, and this is the first time I've done a cardigan with it, so I had to do that swatch to make sure I was going to get the stitches right. So this is, I'm saying, this is what I've done so far, and I've told you about the casting on and the how many stitches, how many rows I did for the 18 rows to 2 inches for the rib. And now I'm going to knit this up to, the lady gave me measurements for the back that she wanted to measure 26 inches. So I'm going to knit this up to the armholes until it's about 17, till I've got about 17 inches. And that'll be in another video. I'll show you how to do the shaping from the armholes up to the neck when I get that far. But it's nice. It's nice wool. I like the feel of it. And a little tip for anybody. This is it's not a proper holder for wool. It's my kitchen roll holder. So I now haven't got a holder for my kitchen roll because I'm putting this ball of wool on it. It doesn't spin around, you know, like you can get those ones that spin around like that when you're pulling the wool up, because you have to just pull the wool up, and when you get to the bottom bit you've got to give it a bit tug up. But it's very good for, the reason I'm using that as well is I usually, when I'm knitting with a big ball like that, it always ends up on the floor. And every time you're pulling the wool up like this, it ends up rolling across the floor. And a few things I've been knitting, and I kept finding these silver, very fine, like silver, like bits of thin thread stuff in it. And I realised well, it was my hair. Bits of my hair must have been, at my age, you do lose more hair than normal. It must have been odd hairs dropping onto the floor, and when the ball was rolling around the floor it was picking up those hairs, so it's a good idea for to stop that as well. And when I start my knitting I always leave a long end like this, No, Priscilla from Distinctive Crochet, she calls them long tails. I call them long ends. I don't care what you call them, Priscilla, I call them long ends. So that's for sewing up afterwards. And that saves you adding little bits of yarn afterwards. So this is how far I've got with the back, and I'm going to sit and do some more knitting with this. So when I get more done, I'll make another video, and I'll show you what how much more I've got done, and I'll probably put the instructions into the description box. Probably when I've finished it, maybe in the last video, I'll probably put the all the instructions into the description box, so for anybody that wants to do it. So if you like my video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll show you when I get the next part done. This is part 1. Next part will be part 2.